Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you at our already 9th online webinar, CEEA Animation Experience. This is the 3rd year we have been running this activity, and in that time we have organized almost 30 sessions. I invite you to check our webpage, CEEA Animation, where you can watch them from recording. At this place, I would like to thank all our financial partners without whom these events would not have taken place. CEEA Animation Experience is co-financed by the International Visegrad Fund and Creative Europe Media. And what are we all looking forward to today? We will listen to the case study of the animated feature film and series called the Websters, which is an IP coming from Slovakia and co-produced with the Czech Republic. But how to bring this Eastern IP to the Western market and how to pitch the project to German distributor, our speakers will try to describe their journey and will also answer your questions. And now let me shortly introduce our speakers. Katarina Kerekesova is a very well-known director, animator, illustrator, and also producer. In 2009, she founded her own company, Full Moon, and you may know her beautiful projects such as short animation Yellow by Ivana Šebestová, premiered in Annecy, or visually very strong films for children, Mimi and Lisa, or the Websters. Currently, Full Moon is developing an educational TV series, Forest 5, for 5 to 8-year-old children, and Katarina is also chairwoman of the Slovak Association of Animated Film Producers, and she teaches at the Academy of Performing Arts in Bratislava. Susanne Freese has been working at OneGate Media in the program acquisition department since 1998. As you probably know, OneGate Media is a German distribution and licensing company for film and television. It belongs to the Studio Hamburg Group, one of the leading production houses in Germany. In her work, Susanne has been focusing on children's content for about 10 years. She oversees the licensing, co-financing of features, series, and animation program closely with public broadcasters. In addition, she is also responsible for program acquisition for OneGate Media's national and international distribution departments. And last but not least, Vášová, who is a manager, producer, and also scriptwriter. Over 15 years, she led European and global co-productions of various genres at European Broadcasting Union, Eurovision in Geneva, and between 2013 and 2018, Anna was a member of Czech TV's General Director Advisory Board and part of FAMU Artistic Board. In 2018, she co-founded production company 13Ka together with Karolina Davidová, and they are producing very beautiful hybrid shorts, for example, Loved It by Diana Van Nguyen, which was recently, for example, nominated, among very others, for European Film Award. So if you have any question during the webinar, please write them here in the comments, in the chat, and we will come back to them at the end of the session. And now I would like to hand the floor over to Anna, who will guide you through today's webinar. Enjoy the session.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Marta, for this nice introduction. Well, I will quickly tell you about 13Ka. You have a lot of it already heard from Marta, and on the screen, the company is really young, and we are a production outfit. Our main focus is animation, and we go for both, for author shorts, but also for large audience children content. For the 5 years we are there, we did manage to finish Diana's Van Nguyen Love That short, which was quite a heartwarming success for the company and for Diana. Then we finished the feature film in Czech and Slovak and have it in Czech and Slovak cinemas. These are the Websters, the movie we'll be talking about today. And we've got a grant for media co-development with the Finnish company Pyjama Films. So these are the things we work on, but we also work with other producers on their development and on scripts and other artistic development features. That's 13Ka. And the next one to talk about will be Susanne's OneGate Media, where she works.
Yes, hello everybody. Thanks for having me, and thanks Marta for the nice introduction. Just you already told everything about OneGate Media. We are part of the Studio Hamburg group, founded 75 years ago. We just celebrated our anniversary last year, and we are an independent distributor and do have an international sales as well as a national sales department. So when it comes to German-speaking market, we are cooperating with the public broadcaster. And we do have a cooperation agreement with NDR and are working with with all the other IRD channels with Kika and Arte. And we do sell at least 2,500 films and series in the VOD market, and have a very large portfolio when it comes to international sales. And we are distributing crime, feel-good, blue chip documentaries, and also kids and family programs. So that's about OneGate Media.
And now back to where it all started with Katarina's Full Moon. So Katka, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hello to everyone. Thank you, Marta, for introducing also. Full Moon was established in 2009, and because I was originally animation director and I wanted to produce my own content, and there was completely lack of producers for animation in Slovakia, so I decided to establish a production company, Full Moon. So we are mainly producing my content, but during these years we built really wonderful team of authors and cooperators for Full Moon. So first production was puppet musical Stones, which I made in stop motion, and then we have this Mimi and Lisa TV series with two TV specials, Christmas Lights Mystery and The Garden, and except another one short for adults, Yellow, which I was produced for Ivana Šebestova, one of our authors. We started in 2013 already developed the next brand, let's say, the Websters, which actually now has 19 episodes and the feature film, the Websters movie. Actually, we are working on next animated educational TV series, Forest 5. I have to say that Full Moon is also co-publisher of books, which are based on these other brands. So, I mean, it's all about Full Moon.
And now to the Websters, Katka.
Yes.
Now tell us about
Today we are here with the Websters. Probably not to show only pictures. Maroš, could you play for us some small showreel?
Všetci spolu spustíme sa dolu. Ja má otco prácu a my deti školu. Každý deň to skúšať, po sieti sa spúšťať. Tenulinkým vláknom, vyšívať to plátno. Každé nové ráno vítame ospalých. Žijeme voľným pádom. Tým pádom zastávať neoplatí.
So, I would like to continue with the Webster's basic information to explain that these are stories from everyday life of the spiders family, which consist from 6 members, grandparents, parents, and 2 children, Lily and Hugo. So it's really a family brand or family TV series. but mainly is focused for 5 to 7 years olds. There was also very important for us bring something what will have really strong visuals. So we use 3D animation, 3D characters in or combined with real backgrounds. So this is something what is really appealing, probably this connection between reality and 3D. Yes, we started with the development of this TV series already in 2013. That time we were working on Mimi and Lisa, but I realized that Mimi and Lisa has really so strange topic. One of main characters is blind, so I thought about new brand, or I was looking for new brand because there was not so much possibility to generate a new stories. So came on my mind to have a spiders family as some similar family to the human world, and to reflect or actual topics and themes which we can speak about. So start of production, there was in 2015, and first 13 episodes were finished in 2019. There was very important that this, let's say, first season was supported by Creative Europe Media in development, but also in a call of TV programming, which was something really new and special. Of course, we had on our board Radio and Television Slovakia and Audiovisual Fund. And this first season, we were co-producing with Polish partners, Studio Miniatur Filmových, and it was also supported by Polish Film Institute. But we were continuing with the TV series with a new partner. This was episodes 14 to 19 with Czech partner, with Anna and 13Ka, supported by and PFX from Czech Republic, Studio PFX. We were supported by State Cinematography Fund, again with strong partners of from Slovak side, but also with Czech television on board. We finished this part in 2021, but simultaneously we were working on an idea of a feature movie. So I was thinking about something again a little bit special. I wanted to bring not only something like connected stories from everyday Websters life. I wanted to bring something new. So we decided to connect the stories of Websters with live action. Yes. It was made again with Czech partners, again with support of State Cinematography Fund and all Slovak partners. So this is something what we can see also from film, but probably I would explain a little bit what was the story about. Not only it was connected with the live action, but also it was based on difference between two girls, human girl and our small spider girl, which was Lily. But in the end, we would like to show that there are not differences, there are similarities between these two girls and between the way how they are looking to the world and how they want to play and play together. That's, I mean, the main idea of the film. So Maros, if I can ask you, please.
So these are the Websters, as Katka introduced them, and as we got them quite finished by the 221. The reason for the feature film was also our Czech involvement, because we do not have film support or fund support for the series. And so we needed a feature film. And the idea that we will try to bring on a big screen the big differences, the big girl and the small spider girl, and the two worlds, was quite appealing to us. And I remember when we were pitching with Katarina to the film fund, we were saying, we need a cinema because we need to see this on a big screen. So by 21, the film was getting ready and we thought, let's bring it out to the world. Let's start launching it internationally. And we built all that around the screen, around the film. We started to go to places like MIP and MIFA, and we were also very lucky to be selected to Kinokids for International Forum in Vášová in the fall of 2021. And that is where we met Susanne, and that's where we spoke to her for the first time, and that was our first pitch to the German partners. So, Susanne, how did it look your end?
Mike.
Sorry. I was saying that I attended Kids Kino only online due to COVID. I couldn't make it to Warsaw, but I remember well when I went through the catalog, I was immediately attracted by the Websters. And when I thought about it afterwards, it was really the character design and this very creative animation. And then we got into touch. I sent you an email and I was asking for some screening links, and I saw the trailer, and my first impression was just confirmed. And yeah, that's how the story started. Yes.
So that was around the film, but at the same time, did you see that we have the series already at the same time, or was it just the film you were interested in the beginning?
I saw the episodes. And the film hasn't been finished yet at that time.
That's right.
Yeah. We were just editing the film, and we started talks about the series first, and then we edit the film later on.
Right. So what when you thought about bringing it to the German market, what were the thoughts? What were the pros and cons? How to deal with it? What could work and what could not work? Because for us, when you started speaking to us, it was pretty clear that there will be some pros and cons. So how did it look your end?
So the absolute pro is really the very creative and animation style with all these beautiful details, and the way of this charming way of storytelling and this very clear message of each episode. So I thought that even kids all around the world could identify with Lily and her friends, her family, and the classmates, the teachers, and these stories of everyday lives and their small problems. And so I thought the message, the animation, and also the music, this were really strong points for pro. The cons are that there's a really strong competition in the German animation market. So you have very many programs coming from France. And as you know, the French animation market is very strong and they have a really good funding system. So the producers are able to do at least 26 or better 52 episodes. So the broadcasters are able to broadcast a long series to have, they have really much content. So that was a small con. And yes, that was my main problem, that we do only have 19 episodes.
Okay. Was it difficult for you to think about how much dialogue there is and all these things, or wasn't that a thought initially? Because as I started as a co-producer but ended as a person who handles this internationally with partners, I sort of realized that one of the difficulties is that there's quite a lot of dialogue. Were you thinking of that initially, or you thought, well, we'll see what happens next?
I think in terms of the storytelling is not a problem. The problem then is that we have to dub all programs via broadcasting or streaming for kids here, and the dubbing costs are really high. So they just increased. And as you know, as a distributor, we don't have only to invest in the program itself and when we pay an MG or flat fee, but we do have the dubbing cost at our charge. So this is really something you have to consider when approaching the German market. There is always the dubbing cost.
Right. So actually the dialogue with you put us, 13K, into the place where we became to be a sort of international contact for the Websters, and we started to deal more with you. And I just wonder, how did go the pitch in Germany? Because there, to share the experience, I started to understand that this is not about us selling the program to you, but about you selling the program to the further people who will bring it to the audiences. So how did you go about it, Susanne?
So as you might know, we have a cooperation agreement with NDR. So my first contact is always NDR. I approached the editorial department, and they were a bit reluctant because they don't have so much budget for last year and even for this year. And so I went to Kika directly. So I don't know whether you know the German public broadcasting system. There is ARD and ZDF, and ARD and ZDF, they have this common kids channel, Kika, and all the ARD channels and ZDF, they have to deliver programs to Kika. And there was a program commission at Kika itself. So you have really to convince a lot of people. And so it was the first try, and it didn't went through because of this very strong competition. And then we approached Netflix, who also refused because it is always with Netflix in Slovakia. And finally, we have a very strong partnership with Amazon, and my colleague who is in charge of the digital distribution of programs, he has regular meetings with Amazon, and they were really thrilled when they saw Websters. And finally, they decided, yes, we will do it, and it will be released on Amazon in March, so very, very soon.
So that's why we're bringing this experience to our colleagues in Central and Eastern Europe, because for us it was like, wow, this is quite something for us. And I must add here that we were quite lucky with Germany, because we had the film at festivals at Schlingen at the moment where we released the film in the cinemas. And I remember that when the two of us were, and we got an audience prize there, that's important. So it was for us a heartwarming moment. And I remember that when we were talking, you said, yes, it could help, it will help. It is important that it is in Germany. The Netflix bit for us was interesting as well, because as you say, or as you said, the Netflix already had some parts in Slovakia, and now recently they, thanks to the audience figures and box office of the movie in Czech Republic, the movie started in Czech Republic in October and had really good results thanks to, in Czech Republic and Slovakia, excuse me, in Czechoslovakia, Czechia, because it's a Slovak-Czech film. So on our own territories, it had a very nice audience figures. And this is also for certainly our Czech distributor, Aerofilms, and for the Slovak distributor as well, Magic Box. And Netflix then started to be interested in buying the film for our territory. So as you say, the film actually gets released by Netflix in its home territories. But then, so RD no, Kika no, Amazon yes. So what is, for which territories and how long, and what can you tell us about the Amazon Prime deal?
So we are really proud because it's the first Amazon deal for an exclusive license brand. It's a premiere on Amazon, so they never did it before. And it's for German-speaking territories, so it's Germany, Austria, Switzerland, I think Luxembourg, Liechtenstein. Yes, and we hope that because when it is launched at Amazon, they will really do a big promotion. So we think that if this is promoted via Amazon and we will have the theatrical release of the movie afterwards, there will be awareness. And so we hope to do further deals afterwards, after the first launch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, because we're all thinking on how to get to this big markets, and actually, as the title of this webinar says, or of this discussion says, it is about Eastern IP. The interesting thing about the Websters is that, as Katka presented it, there is only Eastern support financially, plus the media one, but there is no Western co-producer involved, and so nobody who would really help us navigate in how you do the selling into the whole European or whole world sales. So could you give us a couple of hints for people like us who do not have the advice before? What are the tools that can help you pitch to your clients in your territories?
Have as much information as possible, have a clear storyline, clear synopsises, if possible, a teaser. And it is very important that if you have an animation, that there is no gap between the animation style and the story you are telling. So it doesn't help if you have an animation style for preschool and the stories are for kids aged X6 plus. So this must really fit. And yes, a good pitch Bible does help. It depends always whether the series or the program has already been finished or is in early development. And yeah, as the information must be very clear and the message must be clear.
Okay, so, but I guess we were really lucky with you. So can you tell, now, there is this thing we have, which is, we spoke about it, it was quite a dialogue heavy one. And we did see, as we speak with other buyers, because 13K is handing now all the management of the series and the film internationally, we speak to other buyers and other salespeople, and we do see that sometimes the heavy dialogue might be a problem. For us, it was the pro and the con on the Czech territory, because we could cast a very strong Czech actress cast and actually could promote thus the Websters quite nicely. And I think that the turnout in the cinemas and the nice box office figures are also due to excellent dubbing, which was done in Czech Republic. So how did you go about the dubbing, Susanne?
So first of all, we are working with several dubbing studios, and I was very lucky to have a director for the German version who immediately fell in love with this project. So she was very eager to really do they always do their best, but she was really very happy to be able to do this. And we did the casting for Lily. And yeah, we were very lucky to find a German Lily. And I think the voice really fits very, very well. And yeah, they did the episodes first, and in the second step, we did the movie. So it was really a great cooperation with the studio and with this director, and she's really looking forward to do more episodes then. So yeah, it was really a great cooperation. So yeah,
Okay.
we had good material, we had good scripts, and everything went very well. We delivered good material.
This is very nice. Can we ask maybe for a little clip of the dubbing original and the German version of the same little piece for people in the webinar to see?
Nažerú sa mokrých odpadkov. Mužky, vráťte sa do košiara. Nežerte to. Jaj, už letia späť. Rýchlo, chytajme ich. Nafúkujú sa. Zdúli sa nám. Čo teraz?
Nicht in den Müll! Sie fressen die feuchten Abfälle! Ach, Fliegen, Fliegen, geht zurück in euer Gehege! Nicht den Müll fressen! Oh ja, sie fliegen zurück! Schnell, fangen wir sie ein!
Ich hab dich!
Oh, sie blähen sich auf! Sie hauen ab! Was machen wir jetzt?
Emma, ich fliege!
So this is how our Websters learn German and how the Spiders family speaks fluently German now, which I am not a very good German speaker, but I find it so charming. Can you tell us what's now coming up for you? What is the things happening in Germany and German territory with the Websters now, Susanne?
So we just finished the German dub of the movie, and we are planning, our theatrical distributor is planning to release it in around Easter. And as you have seen, we just prepared the release of the DVDs, and then we are looking for more episodes, and hopefully the premiere at Amazon will be successful, so we can prolongate license period and do a second window and so on.
Thank you very much for this. It's good to see. While we are working on this now, you were our first international sales of the Websters, and we're now at the moment working with Baltic countries. I would encourage all our Central and Eastern European partners, broadcasters, whoever is interested, just come to us. We do now realize how are the prices in our territories and in Western Europe, and we have learned quite some about the difficulties of the salespeople pushing the production further and the huge competition. So we'd be just very glad to hear from the other people. We are having the on Slovak and Czech territories, we will have a Netflix release of the movie in the end of March. So a lot is happening for the Websters now. We are at the moment concluding a deal with Lithuania. And at the same time, we are starting, or we are quite busy, not starting, but we're quite deeply busy with working on the further series, which Susanne mentioned. So now I'll hand back to Katarina to tell us about what's up next for the Websters on our side.
Thank you, Susanne and Anna, for your nice speaking about Websters. It's really nice to hear it, and I have to confirm that really German Lily, it's perfect. So what is next now with the Websters? We are dealing very much to finish 26 episodes, because we realize it's very important to have this whole format in the end. So we are very happy now to have on our board also Slovenian partners, and working with them also on 20 to 26 episodes. Expected delivery will be 2024. And yes, we are slowly working on it every day. So this is something what is going on.
This is very nicely said. Hey, as you say, we're slowly working on it every day. I think this is a bit of a, what I would call Eastern characteristic of this animation. It's Katarina's studio, which is working on this for a long time now. And the 7 episodes which are written follow again a life of a normal spider families. But as in the previous series, we have stories which do resonate with present. So we will have one about pandemic. We would have another which is about living with elderly people and dealing with them to the joy of the whole family. So we're again look into what is it to live in a nicely connected family where everyone lives in the same net and helps the others. And that we hope will be finished in 2024. We also have to say that alongside the series and the film, there are 4 books which have been published. And there are audiobooks, and there is even a merchandise. So this IP is slowly over the years building quite some presence in the market. One of the nice successes of the book is that the Websters, the first book, the first 6 stories were released in China. So the spiders are slowly getting into the world and charming, hopefully, some children for whom and their parents for whom we meant this all. So this was a bit of sharing our experience with co-producing between Poland, Slovakia, Czechia, and Slovenia, and then starting to go into the world through our closest partners, the German territory. And that is it. So I will hand back to Marta, if she's somewhere there with us. Yes,
sure.
Oh.
So everyone is very welcome to leave the comments. So far we are having no questions, so I think that it will come very soon, because people, I think they were listening very carefully. And let's wait for the first questions. So maybe I don't know if Anna, you've got there some additional things to add or open, or if anything what was added. Maybe I was now thinking that we had also another interesting webinar together with Katarina, which was connected to the gaming, because with her previous work, Mimi and Lisa, they transformed also the IP to the video gaming. So what about this part? Are you thinking to go in this direction with the Websters as well?
Oh, if I can say, now I know how much work it is to work also on let's say gaming and applications connected with these other brands. So at this moment we don't think about it, but probably it will come. I don't know. Actually, now we are really happy to finish these 26 episodes. It's really after, let's say, after 10 years. It's really hard job finally.
But I must add one thing, which is quite important, I would say, that with the funding in these countries we're talking about and trying to make a series like that, now even without a Polish co-producer who was the big Central and Eastern European country on board firstly, but then did not continue because the company went through a change and discontinued the work with us. It's quite a big deal, I think, to make a 26 coherent series. So Marta, when you ask about the game, it would be probably for somebody who has a fantastic idea and wants to work on this and would join us again. There was also, for example, a theater performance. So the Websters slowly grow in Slovakia and in the countries in which they get. We know they're very much liked in Slovenia, and we'll see what will now happen in Germany. But then it will be very much to each of the markets to work with them. I think one of the good things for the Websters, and to its maybe difficult point, but the many dialogues, it can really be nicely localized as a show. So actually Websters, as they are now good in German, could be that in any language. And then it depends of each of the market, what are their capacities to work with. So as I said, there was some merchandise, there are books. It just depends on how the people who use it in the countries want to play with all the IP elements.
Perfect. I've got maybe one question to Susanne. Could you please repeat the releases which are planned for Germany, theatrical and also Netflix?
Theatrical is planned to be around Easter, and Amazon will be released now in March, so within the next few days.
And Netflix is not in Germany, but
No.
in Czech and Slovak territories, and Czech and Slovak, and that will be end of March as well. So many things happening now. But I must say that when we speak of releases, I wonder to see how the spiders work in spring. I think it might be nice because the nature is waking up and the little and big animals are coming out. We were quite lucky with our opening of the film in the fall. We had an opening on the 13th of October, and we were quite lucky because we did not have a big children film competition for this age group. So we were really, our distributors were really focusing on that age group, which is 5 to 7, and there was no big competition in the cinema. And those people who came with kids 5 to 7 and understood it is a family film were really happy and delighted. And it came into the time, which was nice because it was around all these ghosts and, you know, at that time of the end of October where you expect spiders and ghosts and all that time. So that is a nice time to maybe think about the film or about the series again. It's a Halloween time, I wanted to say.
Another very interesting questions and point. Did you have any problems with cultural differences? For example, spiders being too scary in various countries or other insight for different countries and their culture?
As you wish.
No, I just wanted to say that at this moment, we didn't have so much problems with the spiders. We have a big problem with mom who is not working. So
Yes.
this is probably something interesting. But yes, we expect there will be definitely a problem in some countries with spiders. But on the other hand, we are showing our spiders like a human beings. They are really, let's say, heartwarming. They are really living in a world which is like a mirror of human world. So probably it seems to be, oh my God, they have 4 legs, 4 hands, 4 eyes, but they are like human beings. So
I will ask also Susanne, because that would be interesting for me how when she pitched it, how people reacted. But I must say that I had problem with the fact that it's spiders, even in my own family, where my sister said, do they need to look that weird? Do they really have to have 4 eyes? And this, my age, my attitude lady was really quite thrown by the fact that you suddenly have to look into this 4 eyes. And my husband, who is an animator, said, what are you going to animate 4 arms and 4 legs? So, and then there was somebody who said, do they have to be that blue? I mean, anyone who wanted to look at something which might be a problem had a really big load of things, or even who not want to look for a problem, but who did see the problem. But it's quite funny how easy this goes with kids. In all the presentations where I went with the film and where we spoke, one of the, either mine or the moderator's question would be, who is afraid of spiders? And only some kids would push their hand up. But after a very short while, you would just realize that this is not an issue, that they just see beings.
Yeah.
So And how about you? And
Yeah, I didn't get any comments on the spider or that they are scary, or I don't know. The only comment I had a long discussion with the editor, with the director of the German dub, and because of this role model, the traditional role model, the mother staying at home and only be in charge of the household and doing yoga. But finally, we noticed that it doesn't detract from the stories. It doesn't matter. So, and even the traditional role has its place in the world. So why don't take this traditional role model? I don't see any difficulties then. And the spiders do not scare me. Yeah, I haven't had any comments on the spiders, honestly.
This traditional role is a funny thing you mentioned, and it was quite something even for us then when we were writing this or conceiving the stories with Katka and thinking about them. When we got the feedback about the traditional role and the mother should be something else, firstly we thought, well, we're having a very emancipated girl, which is the Lily, our main hero. She is the girl, but she does everything beyond and above, and all the world belongs to her, and she just goes and looks at it, and she even helps her brother. So we felt like this was okay. And then I also thought, well, Katarina does not seem too much like a housewife herself, and she's a producer, director, writer. She's publishing books, she's doing all this, she's directing the studio with all these young men and women doing the film. But when you look at her at home, she's quite like Alma. And when we were looking into the role models, quite a lot of Alma, this housewife-like lady, is quite a part of Katarina. So I think you can see, well, it is just a model of a family as Lily looks at it at times.
Yeah.
But we have to say that Alma is not for us only housekeeper. You know, she's bringing a lot of love and energy and holding all this family together very quietly, or on the other hand, very tough. So this is something we realize we need it. We need to have it. It's like a good politician in this family. It's okay.
Like that, we had another issue, which I just quickly want to mention again in the story. In the film, Lily, the little spider, goes out where she should not go. She goes to a dangerous place. And when we were writing it, and with the background, we know from televisions, we knew, well, this is quite dangerous, and maybe somebody would start thinking, oh, how come that the kid goes out and everything? But then we decided we drop this. She's a girl, she's up to an adventure, she's very attracted to her kite and to the bigger girl. So you have both, I would say, role models of a female, a very courageous kid which discovers the world. It is a girl, but happens to act as a child, whatever girl or boy. And then you have this mother which is holding on to the family quite sometimes with a very strong hand, which could be one of a man too. So that's,
we have to mention that also father, that Walter is also hero. It's okay.
yeah, it's, yeah.
Perfect. I've got here another question from Mladen Jukic. Question for Susanne. Any advice on specifics or recommendation when thinking of selling some content to the German markets? What's a big no and what is okay? Thank you.
A big no is any kind of violence in kids program, and boring stories are no. And I think everything else must to be seen. I can't generalize. I have to see a project and to see the story and the characters. So it's quite difficult to say what is no, what is yes. So violence is not. It's a no-go, and it's very important that there's a kind of diversity and gender-neutral stories, and that a bit of humor, and yeah, that the story itself makes sense and that there's a clear message.
And for example, if there is any educational points in it, or if it's only like a story, do you prefer any kind of format or genre for this?
It really depends. If you think about Kika, there is always a bit of educational content, so it's always a plus. I think if you go to Amazon or other platforms or to private TV, it's more comedy, adventure. So it really depends on who you would like to approach later on. So yeah, it really depends on the project. I think the storytelling must fit the story itself. So yeah.
I would have a question for Susanne. Am I allowed questions now, Marta? Okay. Is there anything you would just go like, yes, this is what I'm looking for and I cannot find it in the market, but I know my televisions or anyone who takes content from me would love to have that?
No, this is a question I've always been asked. No, there's no special program I'm looking for. I'm really going to international, national markets, and there are projects which attract me, like Websters or but I'm looking rather for programs for the target group of 6+. So currently there's not a really demand for preschool programs, but no, there's not this program I'm looking for. No. I'm always looking for good stories.
So are we.
Yes.
Perfect. So I think that now we came to the end. If there is no other questions coming from the audience, that I'm sure maybe they will come a bit later. I think that you share there your contacts. So if anyone's got any questions or any suggestions, do not hesitate to contact our speakers today. If you've got any questions also to see animation, don't hesitate to contact us. And thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you very much to all speakers. It was a very inspiring session and very motivating for others, I think. I hope so. And I look forward to seeing more IP from our region in German TV and cinemas as well. So good luck to you, Susanne, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.